Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Phillip Island and welcome to this special press conference here at the MotoGP Guru by Griffin Grand Prix of Australia, where we are joined by Dorna Chief Sporting Officer Carlos Ezpeleta, MotoGP Race Director Mike Webb, FIM MotoGP Safety Officer Tomé Alfonso, and Loris Capirossi, Dorna representative on race direction. As I'm sure now you're all aware, forecasts for strong winds and rain on Sunday mean it has been decided in the interest of safety for competitors and for fans to change the schedule for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. Carlos will now explain the details for the changes, and afterwards there will be an opportunity for the assembled media to ask questions. But for now, Carlos, I'd like to hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. It's the forecast for Sunday has been you know, the conditions in the forecast here in Phillip Island are quite changing, and after consultation with Australian Grand Prix Corporation, we wanted to wait till today to get the appropriate the best forecast that we could from the official bureau, and we have a very good reference of sort of our tolerance in this circuit for wind after having to red flag the race in 2019 here on the qualifying session, sorry, in 2019 on Saturday. So it looks like our forecast for Sunday this year is very similar to the one that we had 4 years ago, and as we always say, safety is the most important factor, the safety of the riders, and of course as well as the fans and all the people involved in the event. So after meeting with the teams, and it's been a unanimous decision to basically switch the race from Saturday, the sprint from Saturday to Sunday, and the main race from Sunday to Saturday on more or less the same times. This is to secure our most important race of the weekend. And of course, you know, we've all come a long way here to Australia, and it's important that the fans can watch the main race for Sunday. Obviously, we will react to the forecast for Sunday. We will try to make complete the full schedule, which has now been published with a warm-up, with a parade lap for the fans, all the content that we had planned, Moto3, Moto2, and the sprint race for Sunday, if the weather permits, and if we have to stop, we will stop, as we always do for safety conditions. So basically, the decision has been accepted by all. We think it's really important to get the main race done here tomorrow in safe conditions, and all parties have mutually accepted that.
Okay, many thanks, Carlos. I'm sure there are questions from the assembled media. Questions available to Carlos, to Mike, to Tomé, or to Loris. So I'll invite now, please, questions from the media. Thank you very much.
Simon Patterson from the race. Carlos, first of all, is the schedule for Sunday set in stone, or is there a possibility that we'll see some flexibility moving around Moto2, Moto3, the sprint race to try and get the sprint away? And secondly, you know, we're obviously taking this decision pretty early in the weekend to give the fans loads of notice and stuff. You know, it's good to give them forewarning. Is this sort of lessons learned from past experiences to be a bit more proactive and to help out the fans?
Well, I think, and my colleagues from Race Direction are welcome to join in, but I think that there's various factors there. I think that one thing that's changed from the past is the new format for MotoGP, and everybody in the paddock was already ready for a race tomorrow afternoon. So that's, you know, clearly paves the way for a change like this. Obviously, with a time difference from Australia to the rest of the world, it's important to announce this today. So a lot of the fans back in Europe and in the States and in America can sort of set their alarm clocks early to watch the main race of the weekend, and yes, of course, the teams. So the most accurate forecast, which of course is not set in stone, that we have for Sunday, comes sort of in 3-hour gaps. That's the most accurate and reasonable forecast that we have. So we don't really know what exactly the hour by hour will be on Sunday at the moment. we will probably know that tomorrow, so we will, if needed, we will adjust and prioritize the activities on Sunday.
Daniel Herrera from SpecFA. Carlos, there's been some talk over the years about moving this event to another time of the year when the weather is a bit more predictable and a bit more hospitable. Will this be cause to rethink the date of this event again?
Well, obviously, again, you know, it's a major decision with a lot of factors involved in that. The schedule for next year has already been set, and I'm not a local or an expert, but from what I'm told, the weather here is not very predictable unless you're speaking about something like January and February, which is challenging for us for a number of reasons. As you know, we have commitments to start in Qatar, and the calendar has been published. But yes, it's a challenge that we've had in the past, and we'd like to sort of minimize the risk for the future.
Hey guys, Chad Nalon from Fox Sports. And maybe this is a question for Loris, but we obviously know in a wet race when it's too wet to race. How do you know if it's too windy to race? What are the markers there that you might be able to feed to race control?
No, well, for us, you know, the experience we have here in Phillip Island, we have rain sometime, but it's not the main problem, rain. The problem is the wind, because we can control, and here can change direction really quickly. And always in the safety commission, the rider complain a lot about the wind, not about the rain. You know, we have, for sure, last year, a big rain on Saturday, and we try to manage it, but this is why we decide to change the race, on main race on Saturday, especially for the wind condition is quite really strong on Sunday.
Is it that it gets to a certain point where you go anything over, say, a number like 50 kilometres per hour, or is it just a matter of the gusting winds? Like, how will you know if it's too windy on track?
No, because the advice we have around 70 kilometers per hour the wind, and this is for sure is really high. And like Carlos said, in 2019 we have around 50, 55, 60, and this is mean Sunday we have more strong wind. This is why we decide to change the race.
I'd add that in 2019 when we had the problem, it was the early years of the aero on the bikes, and we've now had a lot of experience with the aero, and it's partly for that reason that we understand more how the wind in these conditions affects the bikes.
Question for you, Carlos. In case of you will have to cancel a part of the program of Sunday, what will be the priority, the Moto2 and Moto3 races or the sprint?
Obviously, MotoGP class is the priority for us, but you know, actually, how the schedule is for Sunday will probably give us, you know, some of a lesson learned during the day, because MotoGP will go out at the beginning of the day, which we probably think that MotoGP is more subject to the conditions of wind than Moto3 and Moto2 probably are, as Mike said, because of the aero body. So the MotoGP class is probably more sensitive, but they will have a warm-up session in the morning. We will see once we have an hour-by-hour forecast, but you know, maybe warm-up is a good indication for us, and then we'll judge also about the schedule for Moto3, Moto2. Obviously, MotoGP class is our priority, but it doesn't mean, you know, in the past the conditions have been okay for one class and not for the other. So that's also something to take into consideration. But if we need to make changes, we will. The forecast looks like it's pretty steady. Right now, the forecast looks like it's pretty steady during the morning, and then, you know, it sort of heals a bit about 11 a.m., which is the Moto3 race, which might give us a bit of headway for Sunday.
Okay, a very quick check just to make sure the media are happy. I think they all are. So Carlos, Mike, Tome and Loris, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules, and let's hope for a safe and successful Australian Grand Prix for fans, competitors and workers. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.